Alrighty everyone, so today we have a very busy schedule. So we had a major data download happen today. We still have the EZA for the LR Prime Battle Tien, which I still need to cover, and we have information finally on the global Dokkan campaign, the next really huge celebration that everyone should be looking forward to for Dokkan. We have information on a possible theme for the campaign, as well as the starting date. So there is so much going on today, and today in this vid, we're gonna go ahead and try to cover it all. There is so much going on. I'm very excited for this right now. I hope you guys are excited, and of course, as always, I hope you guys will enjoy the vid. If you do and you want to show your support, consider dropping a like down below, subscribe to the channel, of course, please. Also, comment down below your thoughts, let us know what you think in the comments down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and just get into this because there is so much going on. So before I go really into any sort of topic, I will say I'm gonna go ahead and put chapters in this vid. So if you guys want to show your support and watch the full vid, by all means do so, I'd really appreciate it. But also if you guys want to skip to certain parts of things like the global Dokkan campaign and stuff, I will leave chapters to help you guys out. So use those to your advantage. But the first thing I want to go ahead and do is get the boring, annoying stuff out of the way. So let's start off with the LR Prime Battle Tien EZA. Now, the information for the EZA has already been out for like a day now, and if you guys have been following the information, you will know this EZA is terrible. I mean, if we look at just the comments for this EZA, you got Toon Rami, shout out to Toon Rami, he's like, what is he reading right here? You got so many other people just saying this is absolutely terrible, not even gonna farm him. So many negative things are being said about this character, you know, like it's just so easy, and you shouldn't even like bother EZA-ing this character if he's going to be this bad. There's so much negativity. I've heard some people joke that, you know, this is not even a real EZA, or it's like an April Fool's EZA, just really delayed. I've heard some people say like Chaozu gave himself up for this. Like, there's so many trolls and so much negativity on this EZA, but it is all warranted because trust me when I say this EZA should have been a lot better than it is. Like, it is really, really bad in terms of what it had to offer. But let's briefly kind of recap what is going on because we need to understand what is wrong with this EZA. So this is Tien from the Saiyan Saga when he did the Neo Tri-Beam versus Nappa. Of course, it didn't do anything in terms of meaningful impact, but obviously it's a very sentimental, emotional moment. So with the leader skill, Ki +4 and HP attack and defense 150% for Saiyan Saga. Pretty simple, you know, leader skill, not too good, not too bad. It is what it is. Now, the real problem is the passive skill. So let's start off here. Basic effect, attack and defense 103% and launches an additional attack. Now this is the start of the rabbit hole. This is the beginning of the very serious problem. So launch additional attack. On paper you may think, oh, that's great, right? But here's the thing, because it says additional attack, not additional super attack, this is a guaranteed normal, not a super. So this is a normal right here. And as we know, normals do not really have that much value in Dokkan 2025, like probably not even Dokkan 2021. Like, that's the thing. So, you know, this in and of itself is pretty bad because it's additional normal guaranteed, not even a chance for a super. Besides that, so for the first 10 turns from the character's entry, Ki +3, damage reduction rate increases by 13%. When there is an extreme class enemy, Ki +3 and launch additional attack for 10 turns, starting immediately once this condition is met. So for 10 turns you get this, again, additional guaranteed normal. 2 guaranteed normals, that is so ridiculous. For every attack he's performing, boosting attack and defense by 103,000 right there, up to 1.03 million. So, you know, that's for the entirety of the fight. Basically do 10 attacks right there, normals, supers, whatever, you'll get this right here. So flat stats right there. When attacking with 12 or more Ki, 50% chance to do a crit. With 18 or more Ki, attack and defense increase by another 103% and boosting the crit chance by 20%. And with 24 Ki or when doing the active, attack increases by another 103% and boosting the crit chance by 30%, making this a guaranteed crit. So that is one positive, is that because this is Prime Battle, Tien and everything, he's completely free to play. You can farm him up to Rainbow. It is tedious, but you can do so. And because of that, you can do the full hidden potential build, and he has built-in crit to maximum. So really, when you get this character, you don't want to put a single ounce of crit into his hidden potential build. Do dodge, do additional, but don't do crit because there is no reason to with this part of his kit. When HP is 50% or more, Ki +3, launch additional guaranteed super. Hallelujah, we have a guaranteed super somewhere in this kit. I guess the development team realized, hey, you know, we can do additional supers and it's okay. So they gave that to him, and then when HP is 50% or less, Ki +10, and that is it. So man, where do I start? Like, there are certain specific issues with this kit. Let me just break it down. So the first issue, and not in any particular order, but the first issue is that he is doing additional normals. Additional normals are okay in certain instances if you have an additional part of the kit that benefits off of it. There is no part of Tien's kit that benefits off him doing these additionals other than this part right down here for like stats, and even then, once you do 10 attacks, this part of his like whole kit is complete and there is no other reason to have the additional attacks whatsoever. So this is basically useless after this is done. So that's a serious issue. And also, I mean, like, okay, so that's one problem right there, is he has additional normals guaranteed. That is a serious issue right there. The second thing is the flat stats. Now, you can make this work in something like Ultimate Clash or something, or if you're a new player, you don't have that many options, you can use this to your advantage. However, realistically, most players, any sort of player really, is going to have enough opportunities to get good teams that are much better than this, and realistically, as any free-to-play player or any player in general, we still have access to some really good cohesive teams like the Ginyu Force, like Team Bardock, and especially the free-to-play Saiyan Saga team. If you're going to use a team like the free-to-play Saiyan Saga, which is completely at your disposal and everything, why would you ever want to run this character because of this flat stat? Like, it makes no sense. So, I mean, that is an annoyance in and of itself. You can make this work if other parts of the kit are good, but this is not enough on its own. And really, this is like one of the better parts of his kit, it feels like, in certain kind of aspects. So it's a very serious issue right there. And also, I mean, there's so many problems right here with this kit. The biggest thing for me, where is his defensive abilities? His only real defensive ability is his stats and this 13% damage reduction, which, bear in mind, this is temporary. This is for 10 turns. Once this is going away, he has no damage reduction, which is completely useless for a character who has no built-in dodge, no guard, no nothing, and not even like a bunch of additional supers or anything like that. So for me, the way I would describe Tien is it feels like he has potential for certain designs of kits, but none of those designs are completely done. It's kind of half-assed, if you will, in that sense. So you have the damage reduction idea right here, which could be great if he had more damage reduction, but that's not there. You have the additional normals, which could be good if he had like bonus damage reduction within the turn per every attack he did, but that's not here in his kit. I mean, he's got like all these sorts of things right here. He's got, you know, nice stats, which would be great if he had a bunch of multiplicative factors, but that's not there. There is so much problems. He doesn't even have any synergy with any Z fighters, you know, Chaozu, who sacrificed himself for Tien. There's no synergy with any of these things. So, like, given how bad his kit is like this, he might as well have had some extra really restrictive conditions to make him good, because this is just so mediocre. Like, I would be hard pressed to use this easy, I'm gonna say it right now. But we're still not done, you know, we still have to talk about these super attack effects because I don't want to forget those. So these super attack effects now, the 12 key, raise attack and defense for 1 turn, cause colossal damage, and greatly lower attack. Pretty decent effect, right? You know, that's a pretty solid effect for any sort of LR or any character, so, you know, we'll take that, of course. And the 18 key, raise attack by 103% for 1 turn, cause mega colossal damage, and sacrifice 5% HP. The HP loss does suck, but it is only on the 18 key, not the 12 key, and still, you know, he can do some decent damage based off this multiplicative factor. However, despite the super attack effects being good, the problem is, again, for one, you're not going to be doing many of these supers because he doesn't have many additional supers to offer, and also, his passive skill doesn't have the best in terms of stats anyways, so his original stats are going to be just like, it's going to be so terrible, and as an LR, he's not boosting his levels, so his stats are going to be the same as before. He is not going to be that good. I'm saying it right now, guys, he is not going to be that great. I mean, I'm hard pressed to even think of a situation where I would want to use this character, unless it's a specific mission where I have no choice. I don't think I would ever really find myself trying to use this character to make him look good, because I know for it, without a shadow of a doubt, he is going to make me like lose matches 110% of the time. Like, he's going to sell me that bad. But yeah, Tien, honestly, a really bad EZA. He should have been a lot better, but it is what it is. I mean, we can't change the past now. We just got to move forward and hope for the best going towards the future with other free-to-play characters, with other EZAs, super EZAs, all that sort of stuff. Now, that's the first kind of really bad thing. Now let's talk about the really involved kind of thing, which is the data download. So, of course, let's start off right here. Shout out to Proton 10MG. Again, I've said in previous vids, a GOAT when it comes to this stuff. So we have the JP side of the game with the data download. The global side is still waiting its data download, but we have a new int Chaozu. This is a story quest mode kind of Chaozu, if you will, like a Dragon Ball story. We have a new stage for the Prime Battle LR Tien's EZA and everything, like his event. We have a new ESPR stage. We have a new Dragon Ball story, which is where you can get Chaozu. We have a new Diamond stage, and we have the final kind of sequence of the Million Arena event, which I'm so glad we're getting through this, because this event sucks. Like, it is so tedious, it's boring. I can't wait for this whole kind of PvP aspect to be over. They need to go ahead and take a survey or something and workshop this, because this is completely atrocious. It needs a lot of work. Also, a new support memory, a new enhancement for a previous support memory, some new jewels, some new titles. There's a lot of cool stuff. There is Chaozu right there, of course, looking creepy as always. I hate the way Chaozu looks. I don't know why. Like, Chaozu did nothing wrong, but I just hate the way he looks. He's disturbing to me. So yeah, there's all sorts of problems there. But I mean, we got that, we got the stage and everything. We'll talk about all these sorts of things. We have the Dragon Ball story right here. So 8 stages for the Dragon Ball story. This is from the 22nd World Tournament. So obviously in line with Tien and everything. There is a bonus drop for World Tournament characters. So you want to bring World Tournament characters for this buff right here. So pretty straightforward there. Chaozu will get medals from this sequence of story modes. So, you know, do be prepared for that. There is some movies and stuff, new stages and everything, the Million Arena stuff, the titles. This is the support memory. So the full moon, I thought this was a trolling kind of thing at first, but I remember now this is legit. So basically this is the new support memory. If there's an ally in the Budokai Tenkaichi, or basically the World Tournament category on the team, for 2 turns from the start of battle, increase attack for all allies by 22% and decrease the attack of all enemies by 10% only once. Actually, I will say right now, this could be a pretty powerful like item for like any sort of nuking stage, right? Because this is a pretty powerful kind of buff potentially. So I do like the potential there, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of wonky. I don't think I would use it too much, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, support memory. So this is the previous one, right? So they're enhancing this one for the Wavering Thoughts. During battle, now all allies who are in the Android or Earthling category get key +1 and attack and defense increase by 20%. So that's for the entirety of the fight. Pretty nice actually for Android and Earthling, 2 categories that aren't necessarily the collective best. We do love that. Also, we have some more stuff here. So we have these like tickets here and these like special kind of like chance balls. It seems like basically it's like the Dokkan chance, kind of like the lottery system, basically, where you're trying to predict and guess like what sort of number you get. If you get the right one, you can exchange it for a Dragonstone. That's basically what it is. We got special exchange tickets and everything. We have also some special global Dokkan campaign stones to look forward to, right? So you got the little global stuff right there. This is the global Dokkan campaign image, it would seem. I think it's safe to say that we can't really come to any sort of like conclusion about information based off this image, but still, this is looking pretty clean, the image. We don't know exactly what's going to be coming because of this, but my hope, my dream, if you will, is that we maybe can get another free character like we got on the 10th anniversary, because that would be so sick. I don't think it's going to happen, but man, would that be fire. We got some other stuff here, some new assets and everything for the story quests. These honestly are pretty good. I need to start saving these because these are honestly pretty good for maybe it's like thumbnails or something. I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, it's all pretty good. And of course, right here. So this is for the Daima story, right? The next kind of stage. Of course, we got Goma, who is looking just crazy as always. But look at this right here. Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku finally looking like something in Dokkan. This is obviously the mini Goku, not the adult version, but still, this is the beginning of a sign right here, right? Like, this is the sign, right? Like, it's gonna happen, right? We're gonna talk about that in just a sec, but yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of fun stuff. With the data download, I mean, there's other stuff to cover as well. Obviously, we got new missions and everything. You know, this is like they say right here, this is not the same as the anniversary one, so this is gonna be similar to like previous Worldwide Celebration campaigns, so probably more summons, but still, it's like pretty straightforward, you know, like nothing too crazy there. Now, let me go ahead and continue with the information. So we'll go ahead and cover Chaozu's kind of kit in just a sec. Obviously, we have Tien's kit, and then we have the support memories. This is the one thing I want to cover first and foremost. So we have a bunch of skill orbs coming to like different characters. So we got the Tech UI right here. So he's going to be getting a bunch of skill orbs, you know, defensive boost, evasion boost. This is actually really good, like especially because the silver right here is evasion. This is insanely clutch for a character who needs a lot of dodge and like survivability. So that's a plus. You know, part 2 Worldwide Celebration Dokkan Fest Broly, he's getting one. You know, HL Vegeta is getting one. Physical Super Saiyan Trio, they're getting one as well. Diamond Vegeta, I'll come back to Diamond Vegeta in just a sec. You know, we got Lord Slug, you got Tech Same Day Vegeta. Also, like, we got some general ones for like World Tournament characters. And then you got the chance balls. So very simple stuff, but let me go ahead and come back to this. So all these things, they're all pretty good. Obviously, unique ones, Vegeta's getting additionals, so that's good for him because he does stack attack and defense, you know, or I believe, yeah, I think it's attack and defense simultaneously, so that's good for him. Slug, you know, he's getting some nice stuff. I love Lord Slug. He's still a very fun character, not necessarily that cracked, but still like a very fun character with the teams he can be run. Daima Vegeta. The thing about Daima Vegeta is he is the only character from 2025 post 10th anniversary to be in this list, and it is so depressing that he needs these orbs to exist. Now, I do believe with these orbs, with the defense and everything, he may actually be able to cook. Because the thing about Vegeta is he has a bunch of damage reduction. The problem with him is he is still able to take a lot of damage though, and he doesn't have guard. So the combination of those things for a character who like needs to be in slot 1, that's a serious problem, is that he doesn't have the best defensive survivability. Now with these orbs, I think there is a chance that he could succeed. I hope he does, but we'll have to kind of wait and see, because the fact that he needs these orbs right now, that is very sad. But I mean, you know, I'm excited for the physical Super Saiyan trio. Those 3 are gonna be like, this is gonna be very fun for me with the defensive boost and everything. There's gonna be a lot of fun. Tech UI, this one I can't wait for, because Tech UI, you know, he still has a lot of underlying value. It's just that it's hard to justify taking him because of the risk reward kind of situation. So there is something to consider there, but still, Tech UI seems very powerful. All right, so let's go and talk about Chaozu. So Chaozu is like one of the final kind of things we have to cover. We still have to talk about like the event and everything, but still. Chaozu, the story quest mode, I don't know why they call him Gyoza. The translation, I promise this is not me. The translations are not doing their job. They're trying, but they're not really working. But Chaozu, of course, so he is Earthling category lead, Ki +3, HP attack and defense 50%. A pretty trash leader, but it is what it is. Like the 12 key super, extra like, you know, damage to the opponent, greatly lower defense. So debuffing is nice. For each extreme ally on the team, Chaozu is extreme ally, so for each extreme class character on your team, attack and defense increase by 30%, and he's boosting his dodge chance by 7% up to 35%. For each ally in the boys or Earthlings category, basically Earthlings or Dragon Ball Saga, whichever has more on the team, he'll be boosting attack and defense by 30% yet again, and boosting his dodge chance by 7% up to 35%. Let me just say this right now. Between these two things alone, I feel like Chaozu is already better than the new LR Prime Battle Tien EZA. Like, I don't want to say it like too much, but like I like this more, because at least he has 70% potential dodge chance plus additionals and stuff, and like the dodge chance with the hidden potential system. I like it way more. When there's an ally of the Dragon Ball Saga or Earthlings category in the same turn, besides you know, Chaozu himself, that is, then he'll, you know, do some orb changing of into, I believe it's in orbs into rainbow orbs, and also attack and defense will increase by 100% when attacking, and he'll be boosting his damage reduction by 40%. So really good stuff there. When having Ki or Ki being 12 or more when attacking, attack and defense increase by 100%, and after the 5th turn from the start of battle, so turn 5, or whenever he shows up once again, for 1 turn he will stun all the enemies, guaranteed. There's no way around this. So very powerful stuff, and he is inactive, so deal damage, ultimate damage to the opponent, significantly lower attack and defense for 1 turn, seal special moves, increase attack by 16% and defense by 27% for all allies in the Dragon Ball Saga or Earthling category except for himself for 1 turn, can be done when all allies in the attack are in the extreme class, or after turn 5 from the start of battle, can be activated when there is only 1 enemy. So kind of an annoying kind of like sequence of conditions, but not the most difficult. Like, there's just a lot of stuff going on, but man, Chaozu looks really good. Like, why is he a free-to-play character looking so good, like just a random story quest character, but the Prime Battle LRTN is not looking that good? Like, what is going on? This is such a discrepancy for the categories. You know, Chaozu, he is on the like World Tournament stuff, so he's on World Tournament. Youth right here, this is Youth, Dragon Ball Saga, Bond of Master and Disciple, Earthlings, Bond of Friendship, you know, Earthbred Fighters, and Tournament Participants. So pretty straightforward in that sense, but yeah, I mean, there's not much else to it. You know, Chaozu looks really good. Let me just say it for what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and just look at the information. So we got, you know, all the new stages. Again, the stage 4 for Tien and everything. We got the new story quest and everything, which has new missions. We have the stage 71 for the ESBR, and we have the Daima. So with the Super Battle Road, so obviously that's right here, World Tournament. This is the opponents we can expect. So, you know, same thing here for, you know, like the first sequence, number 2 is gonna have like the 5 Z fighters, if you will, or Chi-Chi, I guess, and then 23rd World Tournament Goku. So, you know, obviously these guys are gonna do a lot more damage in their ESBR form, but overall, this should be pretty straightforward in terms of how it works. Now, with the category, this is the interesting thing. So the category, there's some cool characters, but overall, you need some of the better options to really make this good, right? So you need, like, you would like to have the new Tien. If you have the side banner 18 from like the, I think this was from STR Cells banner, then this would be really good. And then also, I mean, you know, you could take like 10th anniversary side banner Hercule. Those are some options that you probably want to have in your arsenal. Obviously the new Chaozu, I think he'd be really good for this. Like, no joke, I think it would actually really work. And then really, I mean, I'm kind of hard. I mean, you probably want to take like, I mean, probably take like Jackie Chun, I guess, or something. Like, there's like some options. Probably, actually, you know what? Probably 20th World Tournament Piccolo, because he's got the AoE, you know, that could be very powerful. So, you know, it's going to be a bit of a challenge, but it should be pretty doable in the grand scheme of things. So that's, something to pay attention to right there. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with this data download. This, like, it's not the most crazy thing, but obviously we're getting closer and closer to the global Dokkan campaign. So, with that coming closer and closer, obviously that's like the most important thing. So we obviously are going to be kind of gearing ourselves up for that more than anything. This is kind of like, an appetizer, kind of whetting our appetites to get ready for the real stuff that's going to be happening in a few short weeks now. But okay, so we talked about, the data download. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the global Dokkan campaign, because obviously that's the most important thing. That's what everyone's been waiting for. What is going on in terms of that? Well, Dokkan gave us some nice little kind of post right here. So, it's pretty simple, like pretty straightforward stuff. This had some nice music and stuff, but the teaser for me really didn't come until later in the vid. So listen to this right here, and you guys can probably tell what is going to be happening based off of this alone. All right, so if you guys heard a heartbeat, right? You heard the heartbeat. That is probably like the hint right there. Which, for those who remember, the heartbeat, kind of was similar to what was used in Dragon Ball Daima when Goku first, reached Super Saiyan 4. So, we have like that's like part of the theme teaser, if you will. Obviously, we have the date right here. So, July 7th, that's going to be when the global Dokkan campaign officially starts. Right down here, we have more information. So we on July 2nd, which is going to be Wednesday at 3 a.m. I believe Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be having the announcement video for the global Dokkan campaign. So that should reveal to us the theme, maybe some of the characters perhaps, but mostly the theme probably. And then a few days later, on July 5th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will have the Dokkan Now special, which should reveal for sure the characters, as well as the kits and all the important stuff, some new EZAs potentially, and some of the things to look forward to. So, those are things that's going to be happening. Also, we'll probably see some information on how the campaign is actually going to work, because this is the first time we've ever had this. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. But this is what is going on, is with this whole heartbeat thing, with everything we're seeing, it seems like Daima is the predominant theory. And when you look at global Dokkan campaign, everyone is geeking the freaking hell out. Like, everyone is so excited for this, because like, this seems like Daima. It's not the best kind of theme confirmation, but it seems pretty clear that this is leaning towards Daima. So, everyone's excited for that. There are some different theories about what we should see, like adult Goku, adult Vegeta, Goma, of course, all the sorts of things. Some new Glorios. I think I've seen one or two people say that, but it is really interesting what is going on now that it seems like Daima is going to be happening. So Daima was one of the popular kind of theories for the whole global Dokkan campaign. Now it seems like it's a reality. Everyone is fangirling, fanboying, everything. Like, everyone's going crazy. So I'm here for it. Now, the thing I want to kind of compare this to is Dragon Ball Legends. So with Dragon Ball Legends, they've had Daima as a tag for quite some time. Now, in Legends, Daima is kind of considered to be a bit toxic in terms of their PvP gameplay and stuff. But still, when you look at this, this is a pretty solid roster for Daima. You have Super Saiyan 4 Adult Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Adult Vegeta, Super Saiyan Goku, Mini Goku, 2 versions, Glorio, Tamagami 3, Majin Ku, Majin Buu right there. It's a pretty solid lineup. When you look at that compared to what we have for Dokkan right now, so far we have Super Saiyan Goku, we have not Tamagami, but we have Glorio, and then we have Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta, who's not that great yet. Maybe the skill orbs will change that, but we definitely need more. Now, with Daima potentially being, the global Dokkan campaign, what should we see? What should we get? Well, for me, obviously, I think everyone's going to agree, we need Super Saiyan 4 Goku of some capacity. Most likely, we're probably going to get Mini Goku. Probably they'll save the adult version Goku for maybe like, I don't know, 11th anniversary, but we do need Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I would personally prefer if we got Tamagami number 3. I know the timing of it doesn't make sense between the two, but we don't have Tamagami number 3, and honestly, he should definitely be in the game. If Super Saiyan Goku's there, we need the counterpart of the moment, so we need Tamagami number 3. I would say give us, we already have Mini Vegeta, so we can't go with that, but, I guess, I'm trying to think of an option here, give us Goma. I mean, really, Goma, I guess, can make perfect sense here. Or if they really want to test it, they could go Super Saiyan 3 Adult Vegeta, throw in Majin Ku. I know some people are saying we should get a tag character of Majin Ku and Majin Buu together. I don't think that's gonna happen, but that would be pretty hilarious. But we can get all sorts of characters. So Daima has still a lot of potential, and honestly, I'm very excited to see what is going to happen, because we definitely need a lot of stuff going on with Daima. Daima is such a popular show. It's a new show. A lot of people love the animation quality and everything, and the moments. We have not really tapped into it, so we definitely need to lock in. But that brings me to something that I really want to kind of point out here. So I reposted this earlier, but this came from Issa, and this is just one of many different kind of messages that a lot of people are kind of resonating with and kind of just sharing. So I want to kind of read this, and I'll kind of add to what I said here. So what Issa was saying, she was saying is that, based on the fact that it's going to be like Daima, she was saying they need to get it right. Dokkan being the devs, of course, get the EZAs correct, get the sub EZAs, any sort of thing going on. This needs to lock in and be crazy. Other people are concurring, you know, same thing. Dokkan 2025 has been kind of hit or miss. So, you know, this whole global Dokkan campaign has to lock in. And, you know, even some people are saying, you know, unlike the 10th anniversary, there was still like flaws and everything. Global Dokkan campaign, hopefully it will hit on every single no. Now, me personally, I'm an optimist. I like to believe that they are going to lock in. However, I will say they're probably not going to lock in on every single specific thing, and that's okay. Here's what they need to lock in on though. The first and foremost thing they have to cover is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. They need to lock in on the new characters. Do not fumble a single one of these characters. If they need to be the most broken characters in existence, so be it. I'm okay with that because they're the new characters. They're the ones who are going to be raking in money. Make them good. That's the first thing that should be the priority. Make these hype characters, make them good characters, make them fun, make them dynamic, make them work together, make them do something, make them have a new category. I don't know, but make them good. This should be the number one priority. Make this good. Number two, make EZAs good. Like, it's gonna be tricky because the thing about Daima is there's no previous Daima EZAs that are due, so you have to really kind of like finagle and figure something out. But figure it out. Make EZAs good. Because you don't want to have all these hype EZAs that people are looking forward to all of a sudden be trash. We don't want that. We had that happen with Kaioken Goku, where a lot of people do not like his EZA. I think it's still okay, but Kaioken Goku from the 10th anniversary EZA and stuff, his EZA was not that great. You know, there's other characters like him. Obviously, we have Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, the mini one who's part of the 10th anniversary. Technically, he's an abomination. I don't want to see any single thing like that at all happen during the Global Dokkan campaign. If there's not going to be that many free-to-play characters, all that sort of stuff, I'm okay with that, but lock in on the summonables, lock in on the EZAs. That's the priorities right there. And also, keep going with the free-to-play rewards. I feel like, I will say right now, Dokkan 2025 has been fan-freaking-tastic, maybe the best year ever in terms of just free-to-play rewards, rewarding players with new, you know, Dragon Stones, free characters, all that sort of stuff. And it really, I feel like the best example is the 10th anniversary with the free 10th anniversary character. Like that in and of itself is a peak example of free-to-play rewards being at their best. Keep that going. You don't have to go above and beyond, but keep it in the similar kind of realm. And I think at that point, that's good enough. So there's a lot of expectations riding on this for me. I've been saying they need to get it right. I said it with the Golden Week celebration where I felt like they needed to get that one right, and they did a decent job with it. It's not perfect, but it's not bad, I feel like. But there was a lot of flaws, especially with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. That was like the peak flaw. Now, we can't afford that. We can't have any, like, this Goku was terrible. We cannot have anything like that happen again. If this happens with the Global Dokkan campaign, I feel like Dokkan 2025 may be considered version 2 of Dokkan 2023, which was not really that great of a year. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of cool stuff going on. Again, we have to remember these dates, right? So again, you know, July 2nd, so that's going to be like in what, 10 or 11 days from now? We're going to be getting the announcement video for the Global Dokkan campaign. Then 3 days later, we'll have the Dokkan Now to reveal it. And then on July 7th, that's when the campaign will start. And then we don't know how long it's going to last. We know it's going to be like July to August, but it's going to be a banger. So I'm excited for this. I hope you guys are excited as well. Save your Dragon Stones before we wrap up the vid. Just save your Dragon Stones. Do what you can. Don't do any more summoning. I know Tien may be fun and everything. Don't do like the summonable one, not the Prime Battle LR. But don't do any more summons. Save, because most likely this is going to have great banners, great units, great quality. We got to save for it. So that's what I want to say right there with my, like, you know, public service announcement before we go ahead and just kind of wrap this up. In any case though, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this vid up. Obviously, we talked about the Prime Battle LRT and EZA, which again is atrocious. We talked about the data download. We talked about the Global Dokkan campaign. Again, I will leave chapters for all this stuff. So if you guys want, you know, watch the whole vid to show your support, I appreciate that. But if you want to check out the chapters to make it easier, you know, that's perfectly okay too. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the Global Dokkan campaign based off the teaser and everything? What do you guys think about the data download? What do you think about the Prime Battle LRT and EZA? Because I know so many people are going to be hating that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the vid, again, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, show your support there. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay blessed, and I will see you all in the next one.